The Trump administration is waiting on a response from Hamas this morning about a ceasefire deal that could stop the fighting in Gaza. The White House says Israel accepted a new ceasefire proposal from the U.S., but the two sides still remain far apart on terms that have kept the war raging on for over a year and a half at this point. NewsNation's Tom Dempsey has more from Washington. Tom, just how confident is the White House in this latest proposal?
Hey, good morning from Washington, D.C., Markie. Look, a possible ceasefire deal in the Israel-Hamas war could be getting closer this morning. But to be clear, Hamas is still voicing some criticism about this proposal that's being floated around. But we are definitely hearing more optimism coming from the White House.
I can confirm that Special Envoy Witkoff and the president submitted a ceasefire proposal to Hamas that Israel backed and supported. Israel signed off on this proposal before it was sent to Hamas. I can also confirm that those discussions are continuing, and we hope that a ceasefire in Gaza will take place so we can return all of the hostages home.
Now, to dive into this possible deal a little bit more, the exact details of this latest plan have not been publicly released, but sources tell the Associated Press a deal could involve a 60-day temporary ceasefire, as well as more aid going into Gaza. Israeli forces would also need to pull back to where they were before the ceasefire back in March. And if our viewers are wondering sort of what's taking so long with all this, well, one of the biggest points in negotiations right now is the length of the ceasefire. Hamas favors a permanent one to avoid Israel launching another offensive, while Israel wants a temporary one to limit Hamas power. Also, a very big point of these negotiations are the 58 hostages still in Hamas custody. Again, Hamas is really looking to exchange those hostages in exchange for Palestinian prisoners being held by Israel, as well as a full withdrawal of those Israeli forces. Markie?
And Tom, just in a similar vein, while I still have you, let's turn to Europe for a second. The White House also optimistic about talks between Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah, that's right. A big thing to watch for next Monday will be a second round of ceasefire talks between Ukraine and Russia. The White House expressing a hope that some sort of agreement can be reached and that this ceasefire negotiation actually ends up taking place, because both sides still going back and forth over all this. But literally at this second, Markie, this war is still very much raging on in Europe, and Russia has conducted some of the largest attacks of the war. In fact, overnight details came in of a big drone attack in Ukraine, second largest city. According to the Ukrainian Air Force, Russia launched around 90 drones and 2 ballistic missiles, injuring several people. And because of ongoing attacks like this, the U.S. says it could walk away from negotiations. During a UN Security Council meeting Thursday, the U.S. also said sanctions against Russia are still on the table. Also, earlier this week, Markie, President Donald Trump says he's giving Vladimir Putin 2 weeks to show that he's serious about ending the war in Europe. Markie?
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.